Nothing but fun here in the Republic of Texas. We are laying down the law. I am your host, Steve Foster. Riding along, James Pledger. You hear him during the week giving you the Sports Center update. A loyal Houston Texans fan countering and also return of the Mac, Spencer Conley.
Right here, baby.
That's right. If it's Judson, if it's Madison, if it's professional sports, and it's a football from somebody going here, there, everywhere, he's tackling them. And he's been tackling me in the daggone studio. Like, Steve, you're going to let me finish, Steve. Now, I give up 100 pounds almost to him. So what I'm saying is it's rough in the studio, but I work out. I'm ready. I will not chop block you. I will fight you right up face mask to face mask. Now, I'm going to get knocked down and rolled over, but I'm going to give my quarterback an opportunity not to get smashed by you, Spencer Conley. How you doing, son?
I hear you, brother. My boy Dave Atkins, he coached the running backs. He coached in Minnesota. He coached for the Vikings. He said, listen, if you're gonna block a guy, at least make sure you get up with a cleat mark in your chest so you can show the quarterback you tried.
Yeah.
Show him you tried.
I'm not going to take no cleat mark, because if you put your cleat mark on any part of my body, I'm affected. So let's, without further ado, let's go to our Cowboys Insider, a longtime friend, teammate, and director of pro personnel and Super Bowl champ with the Dallas Cowboys when he played Judd Garrett. Judd, welcome. It's a special day in the state of Texas. When it comes to the NFL, Cowboys, Texans, we're happy to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Foss.
How is it? How was it this week, knowing it's an in-state rival, 3-1, both teams? Congrats, great starts.
First time both teams have met with winning records.
Yes, and how is it around the atmosphere around the team?
I mean, the atmosphere was good. I mean, obviously. Because they're in state, everything's a little bit heightened about this game. But I mean, they're a good football team. So, and we have a big task ahead of us. So, regardless of if they're in Houston or wherever their city is, we have to be prepared. We have to be ready. We had to have a great week of practice to compete with these guys because they're 3-1. They're a good team, and we got to. We got a big task ahead of us.
Yes, that is the case. We are talking with our Cowboys Insider, Judd Garrett, former Super Bowl champion and now current director of pro personnel and longtime teammate of mine as well. Judd, you and I, we both played running back. Enjoyed the privilege of having snaps side by side with you. DeMarco Murray, Aaron Foster, two of the best in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, DeMarco's having a great year so far. Obviously, he's benefiting from, the play of the offensive line. They've done a great job of controlling the line of scrimmage, giving him room to run, and he's done a nice job. I mean, the little bit question I always had with him was his vision. Obviously, he's a big, strong guy. He's got great bursts, great quickness. Kind of question his vision, but this year he's seeing holes the right way. He's pressing the hole. He's finding the backdoor cut or bouncing it when he has to. So he's been doing a nice job. He's really improved his running style. So he's been playing well. Foster, he's a good player. He's been dinged up. He's been dealing with that hamstring injury and the past couple of weeks. And so I don't think he's at 100%. He wasn't 100% full strength last week. I don't know where he is this week. But, I mean, he's, for the last 4 or 5 years, been one of the best runners in the league. So, I mean, that's job number one for our defense is to shut down their running game. They still do a nice job. They're that pure zone running team, which has been effective in the league for a long time, and they do it very well. And he's the perfect guy to run it. So if he's at full strength, again, we gotta play very sound. We got to be sound with our gap responsibilities to contain him.
Yes, we're speaking with Judd Garrett, former Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl champion and now current director of pro personnel. Go ahead, Jeff. Jeff. I get the J's.
So many J's.
All the J's. Go ahead.
This is James Pledger. Judd, you look at this team, and as the director of pro personnel, I just look at this front seven and how it's been developed and kind of the way this defense has played over these first 4 weeks, and everybody thought coming off of last season with the losses that y'all had suffered with DeMarcus Ware and everything that this was kind of going to be even more attrition from this team. But they've really stepped up to the call, and y'all found some diamonds in the rough last year with Selvey and Hayden, and you got Tyrone Crawford, Terrell McClain picked up this year, Mincy this year. Y'all traded for LeVar Edwards. You got Kyle Wilbur, who y'all drafted at linebacker, and Anthony Hitchens, who's been doing a terrific job filling in for McClain when he's been dinged, or Carter when he's been dinged. I just look at the way y'all kind of built this front seven and how much it's grown from last season to this season. How have you gone about finding all these little hidden gems that were either off the scrap heap in free agency or, late round draft picks like the Anthony Hitchens that have just come in and done such a great job for you? Even Sterling Moore at cornerback, an undrafted guy coming in making a big impact.
Well, I think it's been a combination of a lot of things. I mean, first of all, we were forced to do it this way. We were strapped against the cap. We didn't have a whole lot of money. We couldn't re-sign Hatch. I mean, we love Hatch. Hatch was a great player for us, but we didn't have the money to re-sign him. And again, DeMarcus Ware is a good football player. We wanted him back, but we couldn't afford the number we were paying him. So we didn't have the money to re-sign those guys. We didn't have the money to go out and get Julius Peppers. We couldn't do those types of things, so we had to do it, sort of a defensive front seven by committee. So we went out and got these lower price guys who play the way that Rod Marinelli wants them to play. These guys are all high motor, tough type guys that are going to give you 100% effort on every play. And we got a bunch of those guys. We're rotating them in, so they're not playing 55, 60 plays. They're playing 25 to 30 plays. But when they're out there, they're playing 100 miles an hour, playing the way Rod wants them to play. And, to be honest, we haven't been dominant on defense, but we've played well enough to give our team a chance to win. And when you don't have the big-name players like Ware, Hatcher, Peppers, guys like that, Jalou, Sean Lee, you have to do it that way, and you have to, say, give us a chance to win. And that's what they've been doing, and our offense has been playing well. We've been playing to our defensive style by running the ball more and keeping them off the field. And it's sort of been a group thing. The defensive coaches have done a great job, led by Rod Marinelli. He's got a great vision on how he wants his defense to play. And the other coaches, Leon Lett does a great job coaching the defensive line. Matt Eberflus is a great linebacker coach, and he's done a nice job getting those younger guys ready. We can't discount the addition of Rolando McClain. I mean, he was the 8th pick in the draft a few years ago. He had some issues. He's come back and has been doing a great job filling in for Sean Lee. And so it's just been, sometimes you have to do and make do with what you have. We didn't have a whole lot of money to get a big name guy, so we had to do it in the aggregate with a bunch of little name guys, and it's been effective so far. But I mean, there's still 12 more big tests down the road, and hopefully we can hold up for the rest of the year.
We're talking with Judd Garrett, our Cowboys Insider, former Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl champion, director of pro personnel. Judd, you talk about not having the cap space for big, impressive, high-priced, named guys. Well, J.J. Watt is one of those guys. What about him and the concerns that he brings to the Cowboys offense?
Well, obviously, he's one of the best defensive players in the league. And, we have to have a very strong plan to neutralize him, both in the running game and in pass protection. And, they have good players on that defense other than him, but he's what makes the defense go. And, he's a really good player. So I would imagine that he's going to see a lot of turn protection to him, a lot of double teams and pass protection, and a lot of chip help. I mean, we have to slow him down. We have to neutralize him. Obviously, it will help if we can get into our running game, make some good yards on first and second down, so our third down situations are more manageable, and we can get into more quick game and passes like that on third down as opposed to more straight drop back where he can really get after the passer. But as a run defender, he's just as difficult to contend with as he is rushing the passer. He's just a big, strong, quick guy who can play explosively. He can beat you with quickness. He can beat you with power. And, it's going to be a chore. But, we got some good offensive linemen. Doug Friesman playing well. Zach Martin, the rookie, has really stepped up. I mean, you watch him play, and you think like you're watching a veteran of 3 or 4 years, and he's only played in 4 regular season games. So he stepped up and done a nice job. Obviously, Travis Frederick is continuing his good play from last year, and you can't discount, obviously, Tyron Smith on the other side. So we have a good offensive line. I think we'll have a good plan in place to contain him, and hopefully it works out.
Absolutely. Spencer, you had a question for Judd.
Yeah, Judd, Spencer Conley here. I just wanted to ask you, could you clear up for us what you believe Jerry meant by when he said he didn't want to see DeMarco touch the ball as many times? And, because that's kind of, a lot of fans and people, that kind of sounds a little weird when that's been a huge thing that's contributing to a lot of success you guys are having right now.
Well, I think, Jerry has a little bit of a concern, as everyone does, about the number of carries a running back has. And I think there's been a trend in the National Football League away from, the Emmitt Smith model, who went out there every day, every game, and played 65 to 70 plays. He never left the field, and he got, 95% of the carries. There's, in the past 5 to 10 years, teams have been going away from that model, other than, say, Minnesota with Peterson. Other than that, they've been doing it more by committee. So there's always a concern when you have a running back, the type of hits they get game in and game out, that if we want DeMarco here for the long haul, all 16 games, hopefully into the playoffs, okay, there's always going to be the concern that he may be taking too many hits. That doesn't mean that, suddenly he's only going to get 12 carries. But if there are certain carries here or there in the game that Joseph Randle could take, or a space run that we could get to Dunbar, we'll do that. But, I think Jerry's just kind of voicing out loud a concern of, hey, he's on pace to 400 carries almost. That's a lot of carries. That's a lot of hits. If we can ease it back here or there, we should probably do it. We still need to run the ball as effectively as we have. We have a couple good backups who can take 1 or 2 carries away from him, but it's still going to be give the ball to DeMarco Murray and let him do what he's been doing. And I think the events of certain games over the next 12 weeks will take away some of those carries. There may be a blowout win that we have where he doesn't need to carry it 25 times or something like that. So I understand Jerry's concern, but to ease the minds of the fans out there, Jerry's not going to Scott Linehan and saying DeMarco Murray only has 12 carries today. We're gonna do whatever we have to do to win today. If that means that DeMarco gets 30 carries, he's going to get 30 carries. But if there's a play here or there that Joseph Randle can take or Dunbar, that's probably what's going to happen.
We certainly appreciate it. Judd, we know that you travel and scout and do a myriad of things in your position. We certainly always enjoy hearing from you as our Cowboys Insider. Again, a great in-state rivalry. Early, we're actually going to get off the air early so the Texans can start their pregame show at 11:30. But always appreciate your time, man. Thank you again. I also want to reiterate thanks for assisting over the summer and our abilities and opportunities to put together a little film with the Cowboys and getting the opportunity to hold your individual Super Bowl trophy at the house.
And don't forget, we're also while we have the Texans game here on 1250, our brother station 102.7 Jack FM is the home of the Cowboys for all the Cowboys fans looking to catch the game on
Jack FM.
Yeah, we got to keep it at least even, Steven. I told him, Judd, I said, the family and friends are at the Cowboys, so, man, it's hard for me to go away from blood. So
we got it all.
It is what it is.
We cover it from all angles here.
But we do that, and we appreciate your time.
Oh, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Take care. We'll talk to you soon. He's our Dallas Cowboys insider. We're going to come back. We're going to see what the Mac has to say about a few things, football and sports in general, when we return right here on Laying Down the Law.